We're going through, as humanity across the globe, I believe, we're going through all this change. Analyze who you are. Can you describe you? Think about who you are. Think about the things that make you up. So, hi. It's a bit of a weird, kind of gloomy day. And just thinking in the car. I do my best work in my car. My car is my office most very often. I don't know about you, some of you moms, you ever need to hide out from your kids. Sometimes my house is not big enough. I literally go sit in the car, in the driveway, and tell them, leave me alone. um, so, hiding out in my car. Decided to go for a drive. Sometimes you just need to drive. Driving helps me clear my mind sometimes and also think things through at the same time, you know. So I was thinking about purpose and destiny. I was just thinking about how so many people don't really know themselves. It's really popular right now for people to say, oh, love, you gotta love yourself. But I also think that that statement is taken to the extreme to actually create selfishness. And there's not selfishness in love. So I think we have to be careful with how we use that phrase. But I know that we do have to care for ourselves enough to get healthy, to be healthy, to have good perspectives, to better ourselves, you know. I also was thinking about the expression, you know, to love me for who I am. And I know that that's a basic, and I think the core of that is true. But I think that as people, we are always growing and changing. So it's kind of hard sometimes to technically apply that statement in full. And also, too, we have to admit that we have shortcomings and bad attitudes and bad habits and things that we need to change just to be better people. So, I don't know. It's just jumbled. It's all jumbled in my mind. But I think I was thinking about purpose, mostly. And it's like, so what does it mean to find what it is that we're really supposed to do and do it? Sometimes we're on a road that we're like going down the wrong road. And not just bad decisions. It could be a good thing. You could have a good job and it not be the job that you're supposed to be doing, and it makes you happy, really, you know. Now this is like a weird time the whole world is in, because we're forced to be more creative with our income, with our businesses, you know, with how we handle our budgets. We're being forced to change and evolve into some kind of different way of doing all kinds of different things. How we do school, how we spend money, when we spend money, what we spend money on, how we make money. All of these things at this season of change, I think on a global level, everyone to some way, shape, or form is having to reassess and make adjustments to their life in order to make it right. We're going through, as humanity across the globe, I believe, we're going through all this change. I think that one of the biggest problems in humanity is communication, if not the biggest, number one problem, communication. And that's from every relationship. That's not just in marriage or love communication. This is with parents, with children, with workers, with employers. It's just like, because not always what I'm saying is what you're hearing, and not always what you're hearing is what I said. And so much pride a lot of times in people that they don't want to ask, wait, what did you say? Wait, do I have this right? Is this what you meant? And I think sometimes the pride of that that's in us keeps us in that place where we're not quite sure, and then we're just willing to take a guess or assume. That's a major problem. Not the topic of thinking right out, but it's a major problem. But the second, I think, in my humble opinion, real life, as according to Aj, in the world is not knowing who you are and thus how you can relate to others. So that kind of ties in a little bit to the communication thing, because if you know who you are, you can better communicate it. or communicate through that lens to others, or communicate in a way to help others understand you. But here's the problem. We have to know who we are. And I think that we spend so much time scrolling and watching and thinking about others and analyzing other people's lives and listening to other people that we're not introspective enough. Humans as a species, we are not introspective enough. We have to think about who we are. So if you had a best friend, you can describe that best friend. You know, she's outgoing, she's shy, she's loud, she's a little insecure about some of these things in her life, but she's really bold and really good at this, and this is some of her, she's just gifted in this and that. You could describe that friend in detail, their personality, their likes, their dislikes, their character, who they are, their flaws, their good, their bad, their ugly, right? Well, my question is, can you describe you like that? Can I describe myself the way someone who's really close to me that knows me would? And if not, then I really need to think about that. I need to think about, what are my strengths? You know, what are my weaknesses? You know, where do I excel? Where is it that I just come short and it's just not, you know? And I'll share a little bit of me with you. This is my thinking, and I want to encourage you guys to do this because I think it will be so beneficial in life. Not just communication, but also like in deciding about work, deciding about jobs, deciding about relationships, you know, friendships and romantic. Just, okay, me. So I know that I'm generally a people person. Though, knowing that people are sometimes the hardest thing in this world to deal with. But pretty much for the most part, I'm a people person. But I also know that I'm a person that needs downtime, like to myself. And that can be 15 minutes in the car, hiding out. That can be, 45 minutes in my room with a coffee and Jesus. But I need time to process. That being said, I also know that if I'm having a struggle processing something internally, I know that I do really good if I talk to someone and just tell them what I'm thinking out. The words will start coming out of my mouth, and I'll start to answer my own questions that are in my mind. And so that I also process things well externally. So I know there's certain friends I can call and, can I bounce this off of you, and talk stuff out, and it'll start to, I'll have revelation in my mind. I also know that I am generally, by birth, not a morning person. Now, God is working on me in this, and I am getting up earlier and earlier as I get older in my life by force. I'm forcing myself. I don't think quick in the morning usually, and I'm just it's not that I don't think quick, it's that I need time to wake up. And I've known people like this. They wake up, it's like the light goes on, boom, put the light on, jump on the door, jump on the floor, get up, get done, they're gone. Me, I wake up, I don't turn the lights on right away. I like it dark in my house, blackout curtains initially. I get my coffee, I get my Bible app, and I start reading and praying. And I don't like to talk a lot in the morning. My kids know, I don't want to talk. It's like I need time to warm up and wake up. I'm not like 0 to 50 in the morning like some people are. I admire that. That's great. But I have to know who I am. So I would know to tell my kids, don't try to have me critically think and make a decision or give you permission to do something before I've had my coffee in the morning. And coffee in the morning for me really means before I've had my time to myself and with the Lord, and to wake my engine up and warm it up, right? So that affects the way I communicate and the way I interact with people. So it's important for me to recognize that and be able to communicate that openly to those that are close around me. My family, they know if it's a question, wait till a little later in the day. Or I'll say, my mom sometimes calls me early in the morning and I'm like, Mom, I woke up late today. I haven't had my coffee yet. Can we talk a little later? That will avoid so much hard feelings, right? I'm not a perfectionist in the sense that perfectionists have a hard time even doing things because you're so scared it's not going to come out perfect that you even hesitate to even start it. So I'm definitely not a perfectionist, but I like things done really well, and I hold myself at a high standard. So anything I do, I'm analyzing and figuring how to do it well. And so because of that, I think I have high standards and expectations of myself, but I also have really high expectations of others. Now, this is a good thing in work area for me, that I do good work and I do my work well with high ethics. It's a bad thing in relationships because maybe I put pressure on people to act a certain way or to be at a certain standard, and I don't mean to do that. It just kind of happens, and I know that it's not good. So I try to be like cautious of that. I try to be mindful of it, but I can't be cautious and mindful of it if it's not something I know about myself, right? So are you that type of person? Are you someone who really has high expectations from people and about things? I think things so much. This works well for me when I'm trying to figure something out that's difficult, but it works against me when I'm trying to make a decision that I need to make right now that's crucial, because I'm thinking of so many possibilities of what could happen, and it makes it hard to make a decision. So I don't want this video to be just about me and who I am. I'm just trying to share my processing and my thinking and how I came to realize some things about myself, and in encouraging you to think about who you are. Think about the things that make you up. Think about the things that bug you. You know, when something really, really gets me mad, I'm like, later on after I cool down, I'll think, what was I really so mad about? What was it? What was the button that pushed in my soul that really made me act out like that? Because sometimes it's something that someone really does, but honestly, a lot of times when we get really mad, it's not the thing that person just did. It's some residual of either other things that particular person has done that's built up, or it's something from your childhood it reminds you of, or it's something that happened in another area of your life, and it's like, now this seems to be similar, and it's like that made you really mad because you didn't react the right way, and so now you're thinking, well, I'm just gonna blow up about this now because I should have did it then. And some of this is subconscious, so we just like react. It's like reflex. So it's important when something really upsets you, if it's anger, if it's fear, if it's sadness, you need to step back once you come out of the tornado of emotion, whatever, if it's anger, sadness, fear. When you can step out of that and things settle a bit, then you need to start asking yourself. And I believe for me in my life, I start praying and asking the Holy Spirit. Be like, Lord, why is it that this made me so mad? What is this really about? Where did this come from? And as I think that through, maybe I'll pray and ask for him to bring things to my mind. Like, is there something else that happened that this is really about, you know? Sometimes road rage. I used to be get really mad at people cutting in, stealing my parking spot. I mean, I'd be like so upset. And the Lord, as I began to like try to act more nice and Christian-like in my life, I started to pray and say, Lord, why did I get so mad when people do this? And I feel like one day the Lord just deposited in my heart, it's your pride, Aj. And I'm like, I don't think I'm a prideful person, because what we think of as pride sometimes hides in a different costume. And we don't realize that it's actually the same pride, because what we think of as pride is not always what's going on with us. And I felt like, pride? And it's like, yeah, because how dare he cut me off? How dare he jump out in front of me? It was my turn. That was my parking space. So it's like everything there is me, I, my. When it's so much of me centered, there's pride at the root of that. So I realized that my raging about parking spaces and people cutting me off and not acting right, you know, some of them didn't even have the opportunity to go proper driving school. You know, some people, especially here where we're at, they never went to driving school. They didn't get the right rules. They've been driving for years. I realized I need to have some humility in my road rage. I need to have some patience with other people, and pray for them. So instead of, you know, cussing at them now when they pass by, thank you, Jesus, for setting me free. I pray, Lord, bless that person with some sense. Lord, bless them. I'm about to say, sometimes my prayers in this area is very condescending. It doesn't sound very nice, even in prayer form. Like, give them some sense, Jesus. It's. But at least my heart's in the right place. I'm trying to get there. But the thing is that I realized something about myself in that. And then that gave me the opportunity to be able to think that out and try to change that about me. And I am trying to change that. And I think I'm doing better. Hallelujah. So, what is it about yourself, some things that bug you? What is it that you don't like about your attitude about things? How you act in a certain area, with certain people, in certain situations? Can you think that out? Can you pray that out? Can you pray about it? Can you think about it? Can you analyze who you are? Can you describe you? Get to a place where you're able to describe you the way your best friend or your mom or your dad would describe you. This will help you in life. Some of this requires a lot of humility. Can we be more humble? Can we be more humble as people in our heart and pray and seek God for change, for flaws? Can we try to figure out who we are? Can we know that I'm not the best at some things? I'm really great at some things. I really suck at some things, and that's okay. That's who I am. And it's not just, I am who I am. It's like I am who I am because of a lot of circumstances and a lot of hurt and a lot of things in life. I didn't just born with some of this anger and fear and doubt and hurt and bad attitude. So can we try to figure out where is some of this coming from so that we can change it? So we can act more loving, so we can be more successful at work, so we can be better parents, better children. Like, that's my encouraging you for today. I think this is enough for right now. I could go on and on about this because I do feel really passionate about it. As you understand more and more of who you are, then you can find the places in life where you fit in best. Work, family, friends, church, whatever those areas are, because you know what it is that you're looking for based on knowing who you are. And I just wanted to encourage you in that. You will find an easier time in every area of your life as you focus on knowing who you are, understanding who you are and why you are the way you are, and then being honest and humble enough to say, this is the way I am, but I don't like this. I want to change this. I'm going to work on this. And I don't know how you would be so successful at this without God in your life and asking Him for help, because I don't know if I could do any of it in my own strength. So for me, the next step advice is ask God to help you. If there's something not nice about you that you want to change, ask God, Lord, would you help me figure out why I'm like this, and can you help me change it? And then you have to put in the work. Try to change it. Stop yelling and screaming and cussing at the person that's cutting you off in the road. Start praying for them. You have to make a conscious effort until it becomes second nature. And then the things that are good about you, thank God for them. Thank God for the strengths and the talents that you have. And ask Him to help you find ways that you can use those strengths and those talents and those gifts that He's given you to help others, to help your family, to help show His love. Because that's kind of the point of why we're here in this life. Is to help each other walk through this in a godly, loving way and learn really who we are in Him, right? So I hope that helps someone think some stuff out. Have a fabulous day. God bless you guys, and thanks for listening to me just ramble a bit.